I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this all the time. Sorry, it's like, I don't know. Everything from the time called that. All the things I got signed that I won. Hey, Mama, this is for your baby. So I'm looking for this. Notice the same kind of time. The criminal pants for that crime was mentioned. True. What else? Intention to make clear the connection of the fire. I imagine this is why she's mentioning those things every single day. Every single day, right? Every single day you see me brought up things as they happen. Imagine if now I only bring it up now. Wouldn't sound very credible, would it? It sounds like it's just retaliation or a response to that. And if you're saying, well, maybe made it up all those days, I'd say, I didn't make up what you can see in video. Everything that I said makes sense. Everything that you said perfectly simplifies the things, right? The sin of, as it says, accumulating things too much, truly, very bad. Throughout that, you saw several donations, including that you knew that there was nothing bad in the boxes, just copper boxes and bottles, which is important. It prevents later saying they fired drugs or something else, which no, it didn't. Here's other things you can see through there. Okay? And the dehumanizations in the end, because again, it wouldn't be this crime if you didn't have them. But as I said, that was why. I remember they wanted to introduce my access means over there in the back. The excuses instead of just doing that. No, that's needed excuses. Where's the baby? I don't know what she is. The fact that he waited to finish up the whole thing. Later just doing some token things by himself, as I said, acting up that too. So you get to see the full picture as of the rest. Okay. This was premeditated. Again, and the fact that it was all done in the coldest day of the year. You notice that there was no real reason there. The fact he acted as if there was, he pretended that there was, it's no way proof of that. Because, again, if there was a reason, you wouldn't have seen, this. There was no reason. Yeah, why? He chose today because he wanted to, for the reason he signed in. And then you got to see that very clearly. Which, funny enough, is the very point that I'm trying to show to you. Because I'm saying, this is not just someone dealing with a homeless person. And you know. Notice the phone now. So everything else. Chip, baby. Baby. Looking for him. And Chip. 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 Olha, nem que você tem hoje, mas cara, não vou achar muito. lot of things. I'm gonna put this on. Okay. I think this makes like scary so much, like. Buried somewhere. Last time I saw Chip was in the front, he was walking. Chip! 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 Baby. Baby. Chip. I saw her over there. She was in the front. You were getting on top of me the entire time. Chip! Oh, by the way, as for that, you see that I put her in her box twice to escape. Oh my God, I could blink again and again and again. Chip! Awesome butt dogs here at the time, right? I had the same day. Again, how does that make up for what I've been talking to you about and everything else? Now it's a full stop situation. We should find them. Chip. Baby. There's a cat who's thinking my brain. I'm not gonna show some of my cat. Chip. Baby. Baby. Chip was walking on top of the board. Okay, baby's here. Where's Chip? Baby, where's Chip? Chip! That's a food. The rest of the thing, and I'm gonna bury the place over there on the other side somewhere. I don't know why this one in particular. Living here is not safe because you're gonna tamper with it, so it's not a huge deal. Again, they know it's pissing shit for a reason. So, anyway, they already know. Might need something. Just find the right place. think there's a place somewhere. Tell he could do about this. But again, stay close view. And remember what the guy said there on the other place as well? Then I translate it to you. No, I didn't translate. I accurately relay in the same language, right? In their language. Now again, none of this is yesterday. You see some elements from that last year in October. The lies, the made up things, the bullshit, the meaninglessness. The other things though, the main points are similar. Not the same importance though, again. And yes, last year for you to have a context, I'm going to publish that one as well. I have down the other file, I was just looking at from the pen drive. Going to come as the first version of this is happening 22nd, but when the same day, the same was such an upstanding dude, and yada yada yada, and all the life. Okay. So this is more of that, just empty boxes. See which one of those I want. You're gonna see the same way that the one bag changed before, you change again. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. As a final thing, today will be chips. Go to the vet today. As I said before, I didn't want to announce that, but I said to myself, and I've been talking that for days, there might be hot or cold. He even said this much is allowed, hot or cold. I was going to take her to the vet, deal with whatever thing I had. Also, stop inside this little wagon. 12 minutes. I had some clinking. And yeah, don't forget, I hadn't had breakfast yet. So, all this thing was only done premeditated by all the other criminals. As you witnessed over there on the other side, the guy saying the words around being, throwing him out, which, listen to that? Pretty good, huh? You got to listen. That was the one on Adani, one of the places that throw drugs from me. Whenever it blows from the front, which actually blows from that side, it presumably blows from that place. Presumably. Why did I bury the pistol? Too many things. Not that much place. That many places. Okay. So, get it later. A couple of those are rather obvious. Also, the one statement that he said it was all filled with mold. That is a lie. Those are the ones you saw me put that today. In fact, I didn't just tell you put that today. You saw me put that today. Those will be the ones. It's not just Apple, mind you. Also the bags that cost money. Cost a lot of money, in fact. That was using to block the drug. So again, as for intention, submersion, which doesn't quite work the way they think. Several things that they think is useful. That won't be seen as just cruelty to someone in need. We're seen as me needing a favor, and not the part of they take advantage of someone needing a favor, while telling and taking advantage of him for, in his own words, storing things too much. So, no degradations, no humiliations, no talking back, no talking loudly, no disrespect, it's just genuine talking things too much. Now you reverse the perspective. So as I said, for what they think is good, several other things they think is good. That is designed to stop me from throwing things over there. Again, keep that in mind. It should be a show to see, more to watch. But from the position that I'm holding my phone, from the excuses from early, it's now materialized. Those are the boards. Later on, I'm no expert in this, but I can guarantee that we can come up with one to define just to put it in nail it, not even if very orange of this, it was already an excuse. But it doesn't matter. As I said, you heard the other guy in the other side. This was premeditated and talked between the criminals for a long time. I'll eat breakfast now. Over here. Sounds good enough. It's in the middle, it's away from everything. Oh yeah, and that's for the audience, so pay close attention to that. Also, can keep a close eye on that. I'm still gonna take some of those boxes and probably put them in some other empty lot where I can use as evidence it disappears. So long as it's hidden away and I know exactly where it would be. Yeah, as I said, I need breakfast. One thing though, as I said, I always take the positive of the war crimes, and the positive in this case is that the animals are terrified of it, which is good. That's very good, in fact. Staying safe. Okay, even at face value, very few people would think that this, which is good, because very few people means that, you know what, I'm going to keep quiet for now. There might be more than one criminal catch today. Through his own words. Yeah, as I was saying in the bathroom, I noticed before even the whole talk I was leaving came up. Yeah, but the guy, the pronoun in Brazilian, there is no difference in words for he or it in address as a person. The article is O either way, right? It don't change if it's for person or thing. So when I said throw it out, it could be ambiguous, either the things or me. That's why I didn't went straight up to that, although it was a possibility that I considered. Second thing, the phone has been there in a very conspicuous position the entire time. Third thing, the means it knows. Third thing, the 3 phones, no less, no few. Third thing, the if you talk about the things, I don't know if you understood. What I mean by that is, I'm going to put it in a place that the limit is hidden and doesn't belong to anyone. For instance, the unit. We established a couple extra things as evidence for the price of cardboard on the wood. You notice how good those boxes are, even despite the fact that they put all these days there. You can still clearly see how functional they are. Also, wait a second, did they move the things away from here because in the direction of the smoke? And it forced me to move them back here for no reason? In front of you as well, right? Perfect, you have that one as well. I was just doing because, again, this is very overwhelming for me. I didn't even realize. It took me now to make sense that it actually, I'm just moving those things to there, to be in front of the smoke bath. Try to put them in the stream. Whenever I'm saying something, I want it to be plastic. There's no time for this. Technically, saying that in the end, it's not entirely possible in theoretical terms and in practical terms. So if I just leave those things, I can say, well, technically now it's in the stream. And that is not something to ever be able to be here normally, right? No, there are a couple things you can argue. For instance, that on top of the things is not really there and in the street to the street, right? And not back here, but in front. Plus you have tons of other individuals who come and go. At leisure, as you saw, they can pass, they can share over there like that guy, which provides beautiful context for that you're trying to get by with the cat. And again, by its own words, just accumulating a couple things. No drugs, no crimes, no illegal deeds, no anything else. Just accumulating things. That is it. The sin. Now I can understand it from the perspective, but then apply that to the dehumanization and the rest. Is the second point, which is the dehumanization. You saw how much time I spent inside the place altogether? Now again, I'm not smelling, period. I am telling you this. Only half of the time they throw those things in here, and that's it. This coat is half impermeable to begin with. All the time I'm going that is because it's cold, it's zipped. Period. She won't comment on the pants, mind you, although at this point it'd be interesting if it does. So, keeping it there, we can get the cool side, and it's away from the smoke. Now I'm going to try to have my breakfast. Probably going to have something else as well. But I'll have my breakfast now. Bread, the butter, the chips. And nothing for fun. There's a little bit of sun now, so it's hitting up. Hopefully they hit too much. Also important, again, keep in mind, no dread drugs this time, no depression drugs, because what happened with something here? I've been telling that since early, didn't I? And from the beginning to the end, I didn't refuse to do anything. I removed all the things. I myself went out for all the shit, the bits, in case you thought that I was doing unnecessary. Now having context, right? Imagine if I had refused that for some reason. I know I knew it was some dehumanization stuff, because they just put that in a bag and put it out, and garbage guys are not going to know the difference. As long as it's not too heavy, you can spread more than one. It's going to pick, it's going to throw, it's going to be fine. But I went one by one, not spilling anything, not making a mess, everything else. So his grievances was that I accumulated a bit too much things, even though the cleaning society stopped the drugs that they throw me. And that I smell, which is disputable because I'm telling you that none of those points happen here. So only in the 2 seconds I'm inside. So that is on dispute. But even in his own words, that is one. No, my points are the drugs that they throw me, which I described in detail. The times when I got assaulted in front of the security cameras that he sees, in those times, including when I asked, I think it was on a public information that I went and said, hey, look, can you check? And he said that, no, just he wouldn't, because he doesn't care to help out the criminals. But most importantly, the day when I said, someone messed with my body as I was asleep. And he said the same thing you heard he saying in his own words now about smell. Now, look, it doesn't say that any other day. It's only today, only another day. Interesting too, right? Because such a problem is everything that you mentioned. So the is not afraid of mentioning, as you see. Very much. Also, on the ground of things that actually matter, if you ever sound ungrateful of me, this helps to provide context as I'm trying to keep for them. Which again, she was going to a vet today. As I'm trying to take care of everything else. And just doing the cardboard. Again, he says his own words. Nothing bad, just cardboard and everything. Oh yeah, and later said this as well, right? This left that I picked up and I cleaned. So cardboard is used to block the drugs that they throw on me. As you know. And now it's cold as well. So it's the bags that they destroyed a couple. They already destroyed, but they will use as folder and also make things more fluffy. But I can tell you one more thing, is the last piece of information, I guess. It's been this past 2 days when I've been storing everything there. Last night I slept with the thing in my pocket. No, that was last night. The other day is being able to lock up all the things to safe from inside, just like in October. I think I said that as well, just like in October. See the pattern? If I really leave something in place, it won't be for a long time. It won't be anything. It'll be a camera in a place to see while I'm asleep or something else. But I hope you understand the full context of that, right? Now I probably remember that you're supposed to be moving some of the boards, even though, again, most of the things that I saw make no sense at all. I showed you. Check, there's nothing left. So, that is all the way in the back there, right? Later I need to pick up one extra thing, put it in place. Okay. So, basically what we went there to do was to remove the tree. Sensitive feeling the trees that grew up in the back. You know how beautiful it was there? With the greens and everything else. They also blocking some of the growth from my way. And it's removing the trees to prevent it from me just hiding something in there. Which again, I didn't know about this, right? And you saw that according to his words, there were things everywhere. So it was still pretty neat to arrive there and not having virtually anything there, because I remember didn't put anything there. But yeah, as I said, interesting concept too. Matter of fact, no, I'm gonna finish eating that first. Let's blow this. Something. I mentioned the plastic bags. I mean the flip bags. After I had to move the things back and forth, they fell from the things because I was rushing. Because he was rushing. You're not gonna know my words. You saw it. It's hard, particularly these days. I managed to have a system and I can keep the things locked up pretty safely. Even if my body is not fully protected. And those nights have not been ideal because I arrived here too late. Had I arrived here earlier, I would have closed up better. So it stays insulated. Meanwhile, see a bunch of pieces of clothes in the front door. That apparently doesn't bother anyone. They arrived in a place of high class. You can cope. What he's saying. And he has a bunch of wasted up clothes which have nothing to do with me. I said that since day one. No, my clothes, nothing to do with me at all. In the front door. What do you think? Put that in perspective for a just witness. Are you doubt me? I think I showed that in the previous one, right? Again, there has nothing. I don't even go there. Just leave. You know, for the camera, right? But they involve someone, the guy that he thinks he cannot abuse. That's the difference. You know the curves on the ground, right? Although now there might even be a surface for you to see. Only now. Now I'm to this point. I've been there for weeks. Not because of strength, not because of behavior, just because, as he just pointed out, I need it. Place to go, huh? Although in this case, it's mostly because of the cat's place to go is a bit secondary. Taking advantage of my shadow, the opportunist. Shadow. It's too generic. I want a better name. Now, don't be able to stay online for too long. After all, they might be part of the trip as well. And boost that forward just like the other ones. That being said, 6 months. That's the key. All the files that boost up 6 months. Can be expanded very easily, actually. And part of the trip. And part of the plan. I love to see his behavior. And notice that he knows, because again, the phone, right? The phone is near at all times. So, pretty neat. Pretty neat. Though none of this is good. I mean, you see what you're saying. And again, this is neat with all the depression drugs in there. And with all the drugs that they normally flow. Also, they didn't flow the drugs that they normally flow every day. That's important too. Chef, come in. Chef. You should have to care for them at all times. Notice I said in the morning when I get out of the place, but I don't like it. Oh yeah, by the way, the thing that's closed that I want to check this. One picture say those are great things to me, right? Do you think that those clothes that are there, and there was underwear here, there was a bunch of other things, you think that they don't smell? Yeah, just the front door, right? So, yeah, none of that's nice. I said it's spent one night here, and it was the night that they did something to my here. I think that those things don't smell. They do. Let's see. Make some fancy charging the entire phone. No. Or listen to those feelings when I have them. Most of the time I had to get feelings to get that with me. And yeah, every time that I put it in and I pick something out, it always comes out usually like this. Nothing hidden, no bags, nothing else as well. Also made it seem like it wasn't necessary. Does it seem like it's necessary now? No. Yeah, I just wanted to the rest of the bag. Didn't all that much happen, and in hindsight, I know that it did, it's just that I can't remember it. But you manage to put when you're witnessing it and going through it, and you know how much it's stake. The thing that said in the end is the primary fear, right? It's not just a place to go, which is a problem zone, right? And I don't know how to solve that, I don't know. It's about the cat. You know, so I'll just continue this one with Chip. So that's what I hang over my throat every single time you see things like this. So if at any point you understand my behavior, things like what you saw in Good Spot today, that's that. The only family I have. So the point. That's the sign. That's on purpose. That's the intention. The only family I have because of them. Não foi happening because it's the same group that did those things in Interoid. They're the same ones. Different criminals. Maybe they didn't do those things directly, but they're part of the same group. Forget that. Não, eu vou levar comigo quando eu for. Essas são as coisas que eu vou todo dia pra... Acho que daqui a pouco, assim, terminar de não, eu posso chegar na frente se quiser, posso tocar no seu lugar. Mas elas vão comigo, não vou deixar elas aqui não. Colocar elas do outro lado. Doubt, I don't know, not living outside the street, but I was in doubt about using it and that. I do believe that this will be seen as some type of pushing thing though. So we're gonna put inside and put in place. Just like this stop again, and I'm gonna say those are the things you see me take away with me with a lot of difficulty every single day. Naprawdę mało difficulty. But and again, for those things you see the premise, the absurd premise, which is put the things on the other side of the street, next to the garbage. With this, you see the absurd things, which is those are the things I take with me every day. I just accuse him on each day of stopping me from being responsible for me having to carry all the responsibilities every day. I said that yesterday as well, right? You heard it. I was out, that wasn't correct. The accusation was not about the bug, it was about it. That was a criminal. And what they were planning on doing as around here. So again, as I was having breakfast, I just went there, right? Again, I can testify that there are no drugs in here. No other stimulating things. This is important for other reasons. For reasons, I understand the reasons that they no function. Stimulating factors. So, as I said, it's just a living in front could have been seen as the very childish behavior that I just flagged ever. Praise myself for not having. That's a question. Let's explain later. So on YouTube, you can be copied into another account with those things alone, right? Even as a bait, not my bait because it's not clickbait, it's just describe goals. For the rest, the only leverage they have on me consists of the one you just witnessed, and that's gone. That's gone. It's nothing else. And those things are made up. Our YouTube accounts in the US way beyond jurisdiction. That's why VPNs, right? So that's on YouTube. It can be any of the other platforms. That's real. That's the insane, the absurdities, the face value, inconsistencies, everything else. So it really begs the question: what is the plan for later? Right now, the abuse, okay, but for later. Well, best case scenario attracts a lot of attention for this and nothing else, but a lot of attention for the thing that is substantiated every day for years that I know of. They know about what happened before, right? Now I'm quite sure they lie enough to each other they believe that you're gonna buy into the crap, but at this point. Now we're assuming a corrupt course, perhaps there's going to be a corrupt course, perhaps it's going to be a normal course, in which case it's going to be the plan for it is. So. We've had up this, we're going to go for the day. Recordings from the 22nd, the 23rd of October. We're talking Tanya and I, saying to her now, show this inside. And I was thinking how we're going to solve it the next day, what I was going to put. And you're going to understand a lot. And the burning things here, giving me a bit more context. Because that's not going to stay too public for too long. At least, while leverage exists. Very tiny leverage. It's as tiny as them. The same size as them. Sketch to me. It is no rage, no anger, no out of control. Confidence, true confidence. That's not me. That's your point. Looking in the actual. It's interesting. At least now there's only me here. Behavior is different before, right? Notorious, I can testify. No anger drugs are thrown on me today. You can compare them the days when they are. See the fact. Same person. I can testify that no anger drugs are thrown on me today. Or in the air, should I say. No snow, despite the weather prediction, or very cold. The Lord is always there. Like a cloud means that the weather heat up quite quickly. I don't know, but I don't know, confidence drops up. I believe to the antidepressants, or something else, or something like that. But dopamine receptors, it just makes too much sense. Notice how times I keep just bragging about things for no reason, and I said that some of that has some basis, and that's me trying to justify what this did to myself, because I blame myself all the time. A good chunk of it, a hefty chunk of it, I don't have any idea. It's just something I feel, and at that time, see if you think it makes sense, but then to after what you witness, throwing things that will cause me to be as bragging about the evidence they just produce against themselves, or mention absurd things or anything else. So just to explain what confidence drugs are, essentially is many. Something that gets you to be hypomaniac or stroke maniac, go to Las Vegas and bet your entire house on black. Yeah, because what could that possibly go wrong? So again, these are the things that they're throwing right now. Yeah, note the difference. They're not anger drugs. As I said, since we more narcotics, which just make me frantic, irate for no reason. Which, by the way, is important because that's reciprocal. That's no those drugs in the air. Period. When that is, I notice them, and you notice that I notice them, and you notice my behavior change. Right? And best example is those days at night when I call Tanya. She's reliable. And several other situations, including when I'm masking my bags, organizing it. Whenever I'm doing that, they bust those things in there. Okay? Yeah, there was a shitload of evidence of abuse. Through abuse. How to think on the very fact that right now, Chip shouldn't went to the vet. Just shouldn't gone to the vet because we couldn't go to the vet because of the deal we did. The baby there was on the... Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I just want to show the criminal over there on the side. I have to carry all those things I've been doing already every day to the mall. But given that this was done now, it allows it is intended to happen as a one-shot, perhaps just another crime. I can say it with ease because all those crimes have been premeditated ahead of time. All those crimes were premeditated. Certainly what happened yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever it is he said, was perfect. It's the reason why over that. Tomorrow is trying to use this as a way to get me to get up every day in the early morning, while they will be trying to blow up. By the way, that's the criminal that was just moving out for no reason. So you're gonna try to blow out drugs on me, knowing that I would have to get up at a very specific hour, or even earlier than that hour. Well, that's useless. It doesn't matter. Forget no reason. See the Visa bus stopping right there? Pay close attention to the Visa bus stopping right there to pick up people. Remember I mentioned yesterday the mall likes to brag about the things they do? But something not done to me? Never mind. Also what I said yesterday, the day that I mentioned about the bag, his intention was to do some type of crime to destroy my things. How much does that sound like unbelievable, bizarre now? Even though that didn't sound like that at all, right? What you heard that was about 20 things in the bag, and the same day after they destroy the bags that I have to carry the things. That just makes too much sense, right? But as I said, easy to see this way, but then forget the sheer level of what's going to do now, what I'm going to do now, like how it's going to be for me to move the things back and that, how... No, not because of this. This already happened every day. What I'm pointing to you is, none of this is good. None of the situations is good for me. None of the rest is in regard. So you just have abusing someone at the hardest point because of that. Because as I said, the guy that left the clothes over there in the front door, which clearly looked pretty dirty to me, probably smell. I would say that those still. I can tell you, as I said before, as of me, only the times when I throw those things, and even then I have to stay for times. And even then, it's just another walk, just another thing, right? As I said, I'm embracing that as a way to showcase to you they're doing that. And that's what you see. Okay? Now there's a lot, just like the one from last year, is online. Anyone can see it. They hope that it's going to be some of them. They hope it's going to be under control. Also, it's probably going to create a new channel so I can leave those things public. I love these ones. But certain things. Again, I'm going to organize a couple extra things as well. And